Here we go. Welcome to AR Radio. Let's keep the energy up today. I'm Casey.
I'm Haru. Thanks for tuning in.
So today we got news that sent shockwaves through the AI industry.
Oh man, shockwaves. Now I'm curious. What happened?
On January 20th, 2025, a Chinese AI startup called DeepSeek released a reasoning-focused large language model called DeepSeek R1.
DeepSeek. A Chinese startup, huh?
Yeah! And here's what's shocking. They achieved performance comparable to OpenAI's own model for just $5.6 million, about 800 million yen.
Wait, 800 million yen? I thought AI development cost way more than that.
Exactly. GPT-4's development cost was reportedly $100 million, about 15 billion yen. That's 20 times more. Some estimates say it's even over 100 times cheaper.
Over 100 times less. That's incredible.
And get this, just 1 week after launch, on January 27th.
You mean it beat ChatGPT?
Yep, it overtook ChatGTS. And guess what happened on the same day?
What? Stock prices or something?
Bingo! Nvidia stock dropped 17 to 18%, wiping out $600 billion in market value in a single day.
$600 billion. How much is that in yen?
About 90 trillion yen. It was the largest single-day drop for any company in US stock market history.
90 trillion yen vanished in a day. That's insane.
This was an event that overturned the conventional wisdom of AI development. Until now, more data, more computing power, more massive models was the norm.
So, the rule that whoever spends more wins just collapsed.
Exactly! DeepSeek fundamentally questioned that rule itself.
What kind of performance are we talking about? Give me some numbers.
Sure. First, on the math reasoning benchmark in 2024, it achieved 96.3%.
Is that high?
OpenAI's own got 79.2%, so it's significantly better.
Wow, it beat OpenAI?
Plus, on the Math 500 benchmark, 97.3%. In coding, it achieved expert level on Codeforces, a programming contest, surpassing 96.3% of human participants.
Wait, it's better than human experts? That's amazing!
On the knowledge benchmark, MLU, it scored 90.8%, beating GPT-4o's 88.7%.
It's winning in every category!
Yeah! And what's even more surprising is the cost efficiency.
Not just cheap to develop?
The API pricing too. 55 cents per million input tokens, $2.119 per million output token.
How does that compare to OpenAI?
OpenAI's own is $15 input, $60 output. So it's about 96% cheaper.
96% cheaper, That's basically free!
In one experiment, a task that cost $370 with fun was completed with run for less than $10.
$370 down to under 10. Companies have no reason not to switch.
Alright, let's dig into the background and history of DeepSeek.
Yeah, I'm curious what kind of company it is.
DeepSeek was founded in July 2023. The founder is Liang Wenfeng.
What's his background?
He's the founder of High Flyer Capital, a Chinese quantitative hedge fund. He studied electronic information engineering at Zhejiang University and then found success in quantitative trading.
A hedge fund guy doing AI. That's unexpected.
What's notable is that Liang had been stockpiling thousands of Nvidia GPUs since as early as 2021.
2021? That's before the AI boom really took off, right?
Right. At the time, many financial institutions were starting to explore AI's potential, but Liang was looking even further ahead. He evolved the business from applying AI to quantitative trading into full-scale AR and D.
So he had foresight.
I Highflyer Capital is one of China's largest hedge funds, with estimated assets under management exceeding $8 billion. With this financial backing, DeepSeek began charting its own course from the start.
$8 billion is over $1 trillion yen. That's serious capital.
What's interesting is that Liang publicly stated that profit isn't the goal.
Wait, a hedge fund guy not focused on profit?
Yep. He's declared that he'll carry on the non-profit ideals that OpenAI originally championed but later abandoned.
Taking on OpenAI's original mission. That's ironic.
Here's what's crucial. DeepSeek's development happened under severe constraints from semiconductor export restrictions.
Oh right, the export controls. The thing where they won't sell cutting-edge chips to China.
Exactly. In October 2022, the Biden administration imposed major restrictions on exporting advanced AI semiconductors to China. This meant DeepSeek couldn't access the latest Nvidia H100 or A100 chips.
Not having access to cutting-edge chips is a huge handicap.
Instead, they were forced to use the Nvidia H100 GPU. This is a dead-to-end version of the H100, with chip-to-chip communication bandwidth intentionally limited.
A lower performance version.
Performance was cut in half, and while competitors deployed over 16,000 GPUs, DeepSeek completed Ron's training with just 2,048.
16,000 versus 2,048. They achieved equal or better performance with less than an 8?
Yep. Ironically, these constraints actually accelerated innovation, supported DeepSeek's innovation.
The limits drove innovation.
Faced with the challenge of achieving maximum results with limited resources, they were forced to fundamentally rethink the traditional brute force approach.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. The Brookings Institution called it a demonstration of the failure of a chip sales restriction policy. Sanctions didn't weaken China's AI capabilities, but instead encouraged innovation, prioritizing efficiency and resource share.
So trying to contain them made them stronger.
The strategy completely backfired. Now let's look closely at Ron's technical innovation.
Yeah, I want to know how they cut costs.
Ron's technical innovation comes down to three main pillars.
3 pillars. Tell me one by one.
First, a reinforcement learning first approach.
Reinforcement learning first? What does that mean?
In traditional AI model development, you first do supervised fine-tuning, or SFT, with massive amounts of human-labeled data. Then you adjust the model with reinforcement learning.
So humans teach the right answers first, then let it learn on its own.
Right, But DeepSeek boldly skipped that SFT step and applied reinforcement learning directly to the base model.
Wait, they skipped the human teaching stage?
Yep. Without human-labeled reasoning paths, the model learned to think on its own.
Learning to think by itself. That's wild.
Advanced reasoning patterns like self-reflection, verification, and dynamic strategy adaptation emerged now. This is called chain of thought reasoning, and Rome developed it without human intervention.
So it figured out how to reason without being taught.
The second pillar is a unique reinforcement learning method called GRPO, Group Relative Policy Optimization.
That sounds complicated. What kind of method is it?
In traditional reinforcement learning, you need to train a separate reward model which drives up computational costs.
What's a reward model?
Simply put, it's a model that judges whether this answer is good or bad. You had to build it separately.
I see, you needed a referee model.
Right? Well, we will. But GRPO reduces that extra cost by comparing past responses with new ones and assigning rewards based on relative improvement.
So it judges improvement by comparing to past performance?
Exactly. By generating multiple responses and evaluating them as a group, it determines which answer is best. No need to define an absolute correct answer, which greatly improves training efficiency.
Smart approach. Learning without needing absolute right answers.
The third pillar is the mixture of experts, or MO, architecture.
Mixture of experts. How does that work?
The largest version of Rowan has 671 billion total parameters, but during inference, only 37 billion parameters are selectively activated per token.
37 billion out of 671 billion. What percentage is that?
About 5.5%.
It's running on just 5.5%? That's incredibly efficient.
The model has multiple expert networks and selects the most appropriate expert based on the input to process.
So it switches between experts. Math problems go to the math expert. Text to the text expert.
Right? This allows maintaining the model's overall capacity, meaning its knowledge, while drastically reducing actual computational costs.
Keep the knowledge but lower the cost. That's ideal.
What's even more interesting is the distillation technique.
Distillation? Like making alcohol?
No. It's a technique for transferring knowledge from a large model to a smaller one.
Oh, transferring knowledge.
Even a 1.5 billion parameter small model distilled from raw outperformed GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 Sonnet on math benchmark.
A tiny 1.5 billion parameter model beat GPT-4?
Yep, and this 1.5 billion parameter model can run locally on a laptop.
You can run GPT-4 level performance on your own computer? That's amazing.
You can use high-performance reasoning AI without depending on Cloud API. It symbolizes a shift from bigger models to smarter models. Now let's look at the impact Rowan had across different sectors.
We talked about Nvidia's stock drop, but were there other impacts?
First, the stock market impact. The 17 to 18% Nvidia stock drop on January 27, 2025.
Even hearing it again, that's an insane number.
Behind this drop was doubt about the assumption that AI development requires massive amounts of high-performance GPU.
Because DeepSeek succeeded with less hardware, maybe you don't need so many GPUs?
Right. Investors started reassessing future GPU demand projections. Stocks of major tech companies like Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta also dropped temporarily.
Doubt spread about whether massive AI investment is really necessary.
There's also a major structural change in the AI industry. Until now, developing cutting-edge AI was thought to require billions of dollars and tens of thousands of GPUs.
It was only for big players like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic.
They treated this barrier to entry as a source of competitive advantage. But Rowan overturned that assumption.
So the barrier lowered?
Yep. What even? It proved that efficient algorithms and smart architecture design can achieve equivalent performance with far fewer resources.
That's a big opportunity for startups.
Researchers at Emory University called it a truly democratizing breakthrough, especially wonderful for researchers and developers with limited resources in the Global South.
Global South means emerging countries, right?
Right. Until now, AI development was dominated by Silicon Valley and big Chinese tech companies. But with efficient methods now public, research institutions and startups in India, Brazil, Africa, and other emerging markets can potentially enter cutting-edge AI developments.
AI democratization.
The geopolitical implications are complex too. In the context of US-China tech competition, US export controls aim to slow China's AI progress.
But the result was Chinese companies accelerating innovation.
The European Institute of Security Studies warned that this highlights China's growing technological resilience and ability to challenge US leadership.
So the containment policy backfired.
There's an ironic structure where containment policies encourage efficiency innovation.
Policymakers must have a headache.
Also, it's important that Rowan is released under the MIT license.
What's the MEDITI license?
It's an open source license that allows unlimited use, modification, and distribution, including commercial use.
So anyone can use it freely?
Yep, While OpenAI and Google protect their models as proprietary, DeepSeek chose complete transparency.
Why go open source? Seems like they'd lose competitive advantage.
There are multiple intentions. First, it bypasses barriers, where Western companies hesitate to adopt Chinese APIs due to data security or geopolitical tensions.
If it's open source, you can run it on your own servers without sending data to China.
Right, oh right. They'll also expect continuous improvement through community contribution. Researchers and developers worldwide will verify and improve it, and those insights feed back into DeepSeek's next model development.
A collective improvement strategy. Ah, smart.
Alright, let's play a song.
Oh, nice. What are we listening to?
Today's track is Debug Love. Since we've been talking AI, let's get into a techie mood.
Sounds good. Let's listen.
ログを開いて君を探すバグかそれとも恋なのかコンソールに現れたエラー君の言葉みたいに意味不明で原因追ってソースをたどれば僕の気持ちが本に詰まってたブレイクするのはプログラムか心かわからないまま夜が更けてくデバッグは君に会うたび未定義の感情がフリーズする Try して感知されないままループに落ちてる感情のスタック再起動しても治らない声君のスラックが既読するひどきすぎて追いつけない変数みたいに名前で呼ばれてそれでも嬉しいなんておかしいな運命は恋の超特修正パッチなんて存在しないデバッグアブブレイクポイントの先君の心を追いかけて予測不能な感情ロジック Else if 手でも届かない思い
Alright, after that song, let's look at how experts and the industry react.
How are think tanks analyzing it?
The Brookings Institution said DeepSeek proved that competition beats big tech monopoly.
Beat the monopoly. Strong words.
They analyzed that a new paradigm of AI development has begun where quality of ideas, not capital, determines winners.
It's about ideas, not money.
Rand Corporation commented that DeepSeek proved AI proliferation is inevitable, predicting global decentralization of AI capabilities.
So AI will spread worldwide.
They see the cutting edge of AI becoming distributed globally rather than monopolized by specific countries or companies.
It won't belong to just a few countries anymore.
The Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSI, positioned DeepSeek's emergence as a redefinition of the AI race.
Redefinition? What does that mean?
They analyzed the shift from the traditional competition of who can deploy the most resources to who can solve problems most efficiently.
The rules of the game changed.
Corporate reactions are interesting too. IBM praised it as a victory for innovation and accessibility.
IBM said that much?
They expressed hope that open source AI development will accelerate industry-wide progress.
How are competitors reacting? Like OpenAI.
Competitors like OpenAI and Anthropic have been forced to consider lowering their model prices after Roan's launch.
With a 96% price gap, of course they would.
Long-term, maintaining this price difference seems difficult.
How's academia evaluating it?
Academia has given high praise for Roan's technical innovations. Especially the point that reinforcement learning alone enabled advanced reasoning is seen as showing a new direction for AI research.
The part about reasoning without supervised learning.
Some researchers point out that Rohn's success supports the hypothesis that AI capability is determined by algorithms, not computing power.
Algorithms matter more.
If this view is correct, future AI research may prioritize investment in algorithms over computational infrastructure.
It becomes a battle of brains over hardware.
On the other hand, security experts have raised concern.
What concerns?
Higher performance AI models released as open source could be used for malicious purposes. Concerns about data privacy and backdoors in models developed by Chinese companies haven't been fully resolved.
I see. There are risks to being open.
But being open source also means security researchers worldwide can verify the code. This transparency is an advantage proprietary models don't have.
You could also see it as safer because anyone can inspect it.
Finally, let's talk about future outlook and key points to watch.
What do you think will happen?
DeepSeek R1's arrival could be a clear turning point away from giant model supremacy.
Bigger isn't always better.
Hey. Expected future trends include standardization of efficiency-focused architecture design.
Mechanisms like Mo become the norm.
More layers and sparse attention mechanisms will be widely adopted, and 50% inference cost reduction is expected to spread industry-wide.
Cutting costs in half would be great.
Acceleration of open source AI is also inevitable. DeepSeek's success proved that transparency and collaboration lead to competitive advantage.
Following Meta's Llama series, more companies going open source?
That's likely. AI democratization is also expected to advance.
Like emerging market entry we talked about?
Right. The World Economic Forum predicts DeepSeek's arrival will accelerate AI democratization. Startups and emerging market research institutions without capital can now enter cutting-edge AI development.
AI development could take off worldwide.
The importance of locally executable small models will especially increase.
Like that 1.5 billion parameter model.
Exactly! That model that beat GPT-4o runs on a laptop. If advanced AI reasoning becomes possible on smartphones and IoT devices, AI applications will expand dramatically.
Edge AI ... No cloud dependency.
The US-China AI competition is also entering a new phase.
The story about containment policies encouraging innovation.
The US might further strengthen export restrictions, but that could paradoxically further accelerate Chinese innovation.
Sounds like an endless game.
On the other hand, the spread of open source AI makes maintaining technological superiority at the national level difficult. As AI capabilities level internationally, competition may shift from model development to applications and implementation.
From competition over building to competition over using.
Key points to watch over the next months to years include major tech companies' pricing strategy changes.
Whether OpenAI and others lower prices.
Also, development of the open source AI community, progress in efficient architecture research, government regulatory responses, and DeepSeek's next model's performance and price.
DeepSeek's next model is intriguing. It might shock us again.
Alright, let's wrap up.
Yeah, let's review today's discussion.
DeepSeek R1 was a breakthrough that fundamentally overturned conventional wisdom in AI development.
$5.6 million beating models costing billions.
Developed under us, export restrictions with just 2,048 GPUs. This model proved that smarter methodology, not more resources, is key to AI development.
The constraints forced them to pursue efficiency.
3 technical innovations dramatically improved computational efficiency. Reinforcement learning first approach, proprietary GPU method, and mixture of experts architecture.
Skipping supervised learning, relative reward evaluation, and expert selection.
Open source release provides researchers and developers worldwide with access to this technology, accelerating AI democratization.
It created opportunities for emerging market researchers.
Symbolized by Nvidia's stock plunge, Rohn's arrival significantly impacted markets. The assumption that AI requires massive investment was shaken, and barriers to AI development dropped substantially.
It's no longer just for the wealthy.
From how much resources you deploy to how efficiently you solve problems, DeepSeek R1 heralds a new era transforming AI development philosophy itself.
A shift from brute force to smart approaches. Exciting times.
How this trend evolves is being closely watched by researchers, companies, and policymakers worldwide.
We can't take our eyes off it either.
By the way, Haru, what did you think after hearing today's discussion?
Honestly, I am amazed. The idea that the spend more to win world might change is really exciting.
For sure. It means small teams could potentially beat big corporations.
Japanese startups might have a shot too.
Right. As AI democratization advances, different countries and teams can create their own AI tool.
I wonder what everyone thought after hearing today's story. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah. If you have any thoughts about DeepSeek, let us know. We might reply to it. Alright, that's about all the time we have. Thanks for listening to AI Radio today.
Thanks everyone. See you next time.